Welcome to Three the Hardaway, aka the three-man Jalen Weave, aka the best big three since LeBron D Wade and Bosh, live on YouTube on a Monday evening. If you are here, we're at 221 subscribers, man. We've been shooting up the subscription charts these past couple of weeks.
I didn't know where you was gonna take that. I didn't know where you was gonna take that when you said
Not,
shooting up.
not shooting, not doing that. Not like
Okay.
the Dallas Mavericks situation with Luka.
Okay.
Somebody was doing something. Nah, man, we at 221, man. On the way to 250, man. So help us get there. Of course, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and of course, comment to join the discussion. We're gonna keep doing our thing over here through the Hardaway, man. The playoffs are in full swing, man. Got a lot going on today. We'll get into some stuff with the lottery, of course, the second round matchups, and a little bit of NBA versus NFL player, I guess, matchups, because it's going crazy with everybody on First Take and Fox and all that type of shit. So we'll talk about it a little bit today. If you don't know who I am the walking bucket providing instant offense. It's your boy Savage. Up here, we got the coach of the sidelines, take them school on and off the court. And when I say it's really shitty, it's really shitty. Shitty, what's good?
Hey man, just a quick chime. It has nothing to do with sports at all, man. I realized today, as tomorrow I'm going for my 11 of 12 treatment. It's like I'm literally walking without a limp and without pain, and I haven't had that for like over 5-6 months, man. So kudos to God first and foremost, and we're almost there.
Almost there, man. One more. We're gonna ring that bell, man. We also got your favorite DJ, the Simple Man, Mr. Shakira. Two, what's good?
Man, not much, man. How y'all gentlemen doing on this fine Monday afternoon? It's good to be on Central. Good to be on Central timing for once. Hell.
Proud of you.
If I can get on Central timing for LBR, that'll be fun. What's up?
Yeah, man. So wait, so right now you're currently 2 hours behind. But not now, but like
now, when I go back to Phoenix, 2 hours.
Yeah, okay. Because I don't understand how like it'd be two one day and then it's 1 or 3. I don't know.
Look, I don't know.
we just look at the phones at this point. Yeah, we just look at the phones. What time the phone say?
At this point, the phone is smarter than us.
Hey, damn near. All right, man. Speaking of smarter than us, man, it's time to outsmart Toot today for NBA.
That ain't gonna happen. All right, so of course, Savage, we're gonna have this like a NFL/NBA podcast. So I thought of something creative, and I actually did some research. So on the 92-foot court, again, the NBA court is 92 feet. What is the longest recorded shot in, like I said, in feet out of 92? And who was it that made it? I'm gonna give y'all hints. But real quick, question number one again: a 92 feet court. What's the longest recorded shot?
In the NBA?
In the NBA.
Shit, I'm gonna just go with I'm gonna go with 87. Yeah, I'm gonna say 87 just cause.
Not you pretty close, Shitty. 89 feet.
89 feet. Okay.
The player that made this shot, it was in 2001, and he played for the Charlotte Hornets.
2001 Charlotte Hornets.
He's known for an electrifying dunk.
Oh, Baron Davis.
Come on,
Damn, Shitty. Damn.
When you say electrifying dunk, I mean, who else is dunking for
him? So Baron Davis, 2001 hit an 89-foot shot. Just for reference, Norm Van Lier played in 1977, hit 84 feet. Magic Johnson also hit an 84-footer. LeBron hit an 83. Herb Williams, 81 feet, and then round off. Of course, we got to represent Memphis. Zaire Williams hit a 79-footer.
I remember that. San Antonio
against the Suns.
Okay. Yeah, Suns. Yep, because we were losing that game. I remember it.
Yep. So of course, you know what I'm saying, when we think about football players, you need somebody with a good arm.
Yeah.
So of course, that was an interesting trivia I went ahead and found for us, gentlemen.
Okay. Good looks. Shitty just knocked that out of the park, man. I ain't get a chance.
Yeah.
I'm usually the one that's sitting here waiting. All right, that nigga just yes.
All right, man.
It's simple.
Real quick, simple. All right, cool. NBA news. First up, I'll be remiss if I didn't mention this. Is my favorite player in the WNBA. Miss Asia Wilson is finally, ladies and gentlemen, getting her signature shoe, the ones by Nike. I forgot the website name. I think it's acourseyehasashoe.com, if I'm not mistaken. You can go there now and I guess see what's going on with what Nike is doing. Long overdue for Asia Wilson, man. This is the best player in the WNBA, easily most marketable player in my opinion. She's finally getting her shoe, and it's supposed to release, I think, in 2025. So we got to wait a little bit longer for the shoe to come out. But she is going to get a shoe. Speaking of shoes, Sabrina Ionescu, her second shoe is about to come out as well, too. She had one last year that did pretty well, and now she has one coming out this year. So shout out to the women for getting their signature shoes. I know Angel Reese has one coming out, if I'm not mistaken, with Reebok. I think it's Reebok. And then who else? I think Caitlin Clark's going to get one, and she's with Nike, I believe, too. So we're getting shoes, man. Shoes for the women, and it's going to be for men, women, and kids. So if you are out there, support the WNBA, support the women as they come out with their signature shoes. As far as injuries tonight, Spider Mitchell is not playing for the Cavaliers, but the Cavaliers are putting up a good fight. But it's a calf injury, man. So that might be lingering. And I think it's over with for Cleveland. They tried, but Boston gonna struggle because that's what Boston does against inferior teams. But right now they're up against the Cavaliers at halftime. Mitchell Robinson's out for the season again for the Knicks. He just can't get right with his own injury history. It's an ankle surgery, and he won't be playing again for the playoffs. The NBA Combine is today. Bronny James is out there playing basketball. He's measured at 6'1". So
I was about to say 6'4".
6'1".
Hold on, see, apparently everybody lying now. Like, growing up, that was the thing to lie on your height, but apparently, like, they capping, they taking it way
3 inches,
far.
bro. 3 inches,
way too far. I remember the 6'6" point guard. What's his name? Stephon Castle. They got him at 6'6". They got him at 6'2" now. I'm like, shoes ain't 4 inches.
4 inches, yeah.
Niggas made of heels.
You want to know who big for real? Zach Edey, 7'4", legit 7'4" with the shoes off. So yeah, I should have kept playing basketball, man. I could have been 6'7". I could have been drafted, man.
Shit, I could have been.
They would never know.
Yeah. Hey, hold on, dog. You laughing a little too hard. What you trying to say?
I wish I was a baller. That's all.
Oh man! All right, the last bit of news, and this kind of segues us to our next segment. The Atlanta Hawks won the NBA draft lottery, and they had one of the shortest odds with them being a play-in team, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they play-in team. I think they had like a 3.7% chance to get the number 1 pick. And I'll be damned if the league is not rewarding any sort of tanking for them slow teams that fell below the Atlanta Hawks. So I'm gonna run through the lottery order if my phone loads up. All right. So Atlanta Hawks number 1. Number 2 was the Washington Wizards. Number 3, Houston Rockets. Number 4, San Antonio Spurs. 5, playoff Pistons. Shout out to 2. Number 6, Charlotte Hornets. 7, Portland Trailblazers. 8, Spurs again. 9, Memphis Grizzlies. 10, Utah Jazz. 11, Chicago Bulls. 12, Oklahoma City Thunder. 13, Sacramento Kings. And 14, Portland Trail Blazers. So it's a lot of discussion about who should be the number 1 pick, or like why this draft isn't really a good draft. In my opinion, I'm not saying it's an amazing draft, but I don't think it's a terrible draft. Like if you are a team that just needs additional pieces, this is a good draft for you, man. Like all these dudes can hoop, man. Any of them dudes from UConn gonna be solid. Any of the overseas guys are gonna be solid. If you don't need a star player, it's gonna be a decent draft. But let's start at the top, man. Atlanta Hawks. What would y'all do with the roster in general? Like I know they got Trae Young, they got Dejounte Murray, they got Jalen Johnson, I believe, the small forward who's actually pretty nice. What do they do with this pick, or like the roster in general? Because you got some decisions to make. There've been rumors about trading Trae Young, rumors about trading Dejounte Murray. What would y'all do?
I mean, if I'm the Hawks, I'm looking to rebuild and restock. I mean, unfortunately, we've seen the height is that they can go with Trae Young. And even though I believe that Trae Young loves Atlanta loves Trae Young, the rumor mills are heating up from what I'm reading and seeing on the internet. And 9 times out of 10, the internet's they be wrong, but in this case, I think they may be right for the fact of the Spurs can literally send 2 top 10 picks to the Hawks if they wanted to for Trae Young. You know what I'm saying? And you talk about Trae Young and Coach Pop, who's the greatest coach ever to me. You talk about unlocking potential. Like, I may become a half Spurs fan if that happens. I'm not gonna even lie to you, but this unlocking potential Trae Young, like I said, they got 2 top 10 picks. Atlanta, like, rebuild. You can still trade Jonte Murray as well. Like, just trade everybody. Clint Capella had a bad season last season, but I'm not expecting his production to fall all the way. But still, you can get value for him. Just start over. Just start over and go from there.
Yeah, be okay with the losing that's happening with the Hawks. The Hawks were not there in the playoff. Like, ever since that miraculous run with Trae Young, was his rookie season or second season, all the way through, this team ain't been like, must see TV. Like, this ain't the team. I'm with Tug in this regard. I mean, I think you get rid of some things. The question is, like, who do you get rid of and where? I actually think DeJounte should go back to San Antonio. That's me personally. But either one, to your point, Tug, will work. And then you can also trade picks as well within there. But this Atlanta team, even if they take a number 1 pick, even if they take whoever they want in this draft, is not going to move them further. They're still a play-in team. So to your point, Tug, yeah, might as well blow it up, see what you can get in return. See if you can stockpile some picks for later on. Hey, maybe we can get you a pick for next season when that flag come out. We now waving the white flag. You get that? But
it's a white flag. It's a white flag. It's a white flag.
My name Cooper. Yeah, he white
Cooper
as hell.
flag. Come on,
Cooper
man. That's a white flag. That's
But yeah, for real, man. I couldn't even, when I saw the Atlanta Hawks out the first pick, I said, "What is going on?" But I also have a different thought process about how they can do this lottery system at the end. Because what are these 14 teams doing right now? Nothing. So why not have like a tournament with them to see who's going to be the first pick, second pick, third pick, so on and so forth. So those teams that actually tank to get here now prove that you deserve the number 1 pick. But regardless of the fact, Atlanta's going to be Atlanta. Get rid of Trae Young to LA, DeJounte to San Antonio, or vice versa, whatever y'all want to do, and just restart. Just the same way the Falcons did after they lost 28-3. Well, when they were up 28-3.
Look, and they still ain't been back to the promised land.
I was like, they drafted a quarterback, and they already had a quarterback.
Go Falcons.
So that's the most Atlanta thing to do, right? You get a quarterback. I'm going to pay this quarterback, and I'm going to draft a quarterback. I got a point guard, but I'm going to get another point guard.
Hey.
Come on,
hey, look, man. What's that boy named? Reed Shepard had a 42-inch vertical, man. I don't know, man. White boy can jump, man. Look.
Shit, they got a cornerback in the NFL too now. They coming for us.
Yeah, man. It looked like the odds-on favorite is gonna be your boy too, Sar for the Hawks, which I like. I like that a lot for them. They need a big man. Okongwu is not really doing it for Atlanta, and Capella is. I forget he's still playing, to be honest. Capella, he old, man. Just let him go. I do think I don't see the value of keeping Trae Young and Murray together. It's been that way for like 2 years for me. So one of them, if it is one of them, I would trade DeJounte Murray because it won't cost as much for the Spurs. Maybe it's 1 first-round pick. You know what I'm saying? Whereas Trae Young is going to cost a lot more than DeJounte Murray. And so you keep Trae Young, and then you get Sar. You get a pick and roll, pick and pop. You can do that with Trae Young, and that's exciting. I would say, at least on offense. Maybe not on defense for Trae Young, but Sar. I mean, he's like a poor. I ain't saying he's Victor, but he's a poor man's version of Victor Wembanyama. You know, so they should be excited about that. I'm looking at the mock drafts right now, and I want to ask y'all: do y'all have a favorite player right now that y'all like? Just aside from like if it's Sar or whoever, who's y'all favorite player that y'all would like to follow going forward next season? That's a rookie.
I'll be honest. I think because of all the slack that he's got, I do want to see what Zach Edey actually does when he gets to the NBA, because he's had to burden a lot, whether it's good or bad, for his play. So I just want to see what happens for him next year.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I saw a video of Donovan Clingan shooting. Mm-hmm. I said, man, if he get this shot going, he should be top 5 easily. Mm-hmm. So hopefully, he can fall to the Grizz at pick 901. But hey, I like Clingan. I like Clingan for sure. And the second pick, I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm gonna mess it up, but I've watched his highlights, and the dude, he can freaking ball. Was it Zakir Richard?
ZR. Yeah.
ZR. There we go. ZR.
I got you.
He can hoop. So the Mizzets, y'all gonna get another forward that hopefully y'all don't mess up. And
trade.
Yeah. I like this Tim trade to pick, man. I don't want to see this dude hoop on the Wizards, man. They trash. But no, shout out to him, and I'm looking forward to seeing both of them.
Yeah, ZR was one of mine.
ZR, there we go.
I watched a highlight today, and I was like, oh shit, this nigga like 6'8", 6'9", and run the floor, man. Like, I like this, man. But of course, mine is gonna be Dillingham, man. It's gonna be where he goes. It's gonna be interesting. I saw somebody that said they gonna put him on the Spurs, which I'm cool with, because he is literally like, I ain't saying he Kyrie Irving, but if you're talking about a bucket, that man can go get a bucket with the. I saw him do it for, I don't know if it was G League Ignite. Nah, it was overtime elite when he was in high school, just killing folks. And then Kentucky, of course, Kentucky didn't have the greatest season, but he played well, for them. And if he gets to like San Antonio, where Pops gets his hands on him, that's going to be inspiring for me to follow him and Victor and the other players they have in San Antonio. So I'm gonna say Rob Dillingham and whoever the Grizzlies pick, whoever that may be. I don't know. It's a lot of debate going on right now on Grizz Twitter, but we ain't got to get too deep.
Leave it alone.
Oh, we don't get into that. So yeah, man, the draft will be, I think it's June 26th, I believe. I think it's June 26th. And then they have it for 2 nights, actually. So they got the first round one night, and then the second round the next night. So that'll be about a month and a half from now. So we'll of course be back to cover that, because right now we have the NBA playoffs going on. And man, not YouTube, but I told y'all, do not doubt that brother from the great country of Serbia. Do not doubt that motherfucker, bro. I was like, oh, Anthony Edwards, he's the next guy. It's time. We gonna sweep the Nuggets. We done beat them twice in Denver. I was like, y'all, it's a long series. These are the defending world champs. We done seen this story before. We done seen the doubt before. Jamal Murray had a bad game 1, at least the first half of game 1. He hasn't really played up to his standards in the playoffs just yet. And I'd be damn in that third quarter. What was it, game 3 or game 4? I forget what game it was, but it was one quarter, he had 12 points. Nobody could stop him. He was doing whatever he wanted to do. Aaron Gordon, at one point, couldn't miss a shot. 9 for 9, had some threes. Game. Man, like, couldn't miss a shot.
Bro, Aaron Gordon looks like an all-NBA snub at this point. All-NBA, not all-star, not a member of Kerr. No. All-NBA.
Damn near, bro, because, like, whatever they tell him to do, he does it perfectly. He's the anti-Tobias Harris. Like, he go out there and handles his damn business. He is the
Tobias Harris catching strays, man.
He is the anti-Tobias Harris, bro. He, like, they need to trade contracts, bro. Because Aaron Gordon he's what he's supposed to do for the Denver Nuggets. And then everything else just falls in line. Like the Joker, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised by the Timberwolves, like, youth coming into play. Because like the Nuggets, they've been here. They've done this. They've gone through the ringer of winning an NBA championship. The Timberwolves, it might not be time just yet. And of course, the series is still 2-2. We just saw Minnesota beat them twice in Denver. I wouldn't, if I'm a betting man in terms of, like, I put a little money on something, I'm not betting them to win in Denver for game 5. That ain't happening. Right. I ain't betting on that. Too, you might bet on that. I ain't betting on that. But yeah, so my question, y'all, is it over for Minnesota? It's over? Because I think it's over. It's over, man. So real quick. Side note. Anthony Edwards, bro, you for real, dog. You, man, he the only dude that showed up.
That right there is the problem.
Go ahead, see.
You got an ant playing with a cat and ain't got no dogs. That's the problem. Karl Anthony Towns, whatever contract he got, gone. Go. When I tweeted, that man was 4 for 16, making 25% of his shots with maybe 3 turnovers, a couple personal fouls. He legitimately plays them out of games and plays himself out. On top of that, I will say this about, because I studied a lot of more of the game 4 than any game so far. It's me, honestly. The Timberwolves missed opportunities to give Gobert the ball. Imagine me saying that. Missed opportunities for him to get the ball. But then I watched him get the ball. And my man walked his ass all the way down Shelby Drive for a travel. I said, Jesus, don't give him the ball no more. Anthony Edwards is quintessential, like on the other side of this now in the East, is like a Donovan Mitchell right now. Like he's literally carrying this team. I'm not giving up on the Timberwolves because I don't know what can happen in any given day. I.e., look at the Pacers. Well, we'll get there eventually. So I'm not done with them. I'm still going to say that I believe the Timberwolves can win the series. I still got the Timberwolves winning the series at this point. And as great of a player as Joker is, ladies and gentlemen, I watched Game 4. There were times when the Joker and Murray were off the court, and they were still putting up buckets. Did y'all not get the scouting report on Justin Holiday yet? All that man gonna do is shoot threes. Ain't nobody gonna close out on him. This is professional basketball, ladies and gentlemen. If you're listening to me, Chris Finch, hear me very well. Please listen to me. Please, and your assistant, listen to me. Try a zone. It can work for you. The reason why it didn't work for us in Miami is because we had Gabe Benson trying to close out his old short ass, 5'10" ass, trying to close out on shooters. Y'all got the length to do that. Y'all have the length to protect the paint as well. So if you're thinking about this, if y'all tried to zone like towards the end of the fourth quarter, it kind of worked, it kind of didn't, because your guys mentally were just out of it. But overall speaking, try something new. Because right now, like Savage just said, it's gonna be hard to win Game 5, and I'll be damned if y'all win Game 7 in there. So if y'all if y'all want to win, it has to be now. But maybe you need to get somebody else in Karl Anthony Towns jersey. I don't know who else. If Kevin Garnett can suit up, somebody. But at this point, Karl Anthony Towns cannot have another game like he's had these last 2 games. Last 3, actually, to be honest. And that's their problem. It's not Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert is going to get played off the court with. Oh, really quickly, too, before you go, let me just say this. I understand the Joker is the MVP and the best player on the planet. I get that, ladies and gentlemen. However, if you are the defensive player of the year,
please preach.
He don't give a fuck how many defensive player or year awards you don't receive. He is giving you everything, reading, math, science. He's taking you to school every single time he's down there. And ladies and gentlemen, I have never seen this man hit rim at all. Rudy Gobert is not scaring anyone for the Nuggets. Anyone. So the best thing he can do is do the drop coverage on Aaron Gordon, and he's starting to turn, and when I say this, Rudy Gobert is starting to turn into LeBron James in the last 2 playoff series, where you're just really watching Joker and letting Aaron Gordon slide by you and score and look like an all-NBA snub. So right now, Rudy Gobert, show these people why you got a defensive player of the year this year. I won't go on the other 3 because those probably shouldn't have been there either. But prove to us that you deserved it this year by actually playing a little bit of defense. Maybe it's not against Joker, but no way that both bigs get about 60 points together, and then y'all combined bigs was like 6 for like 28. Where that math is math in that?
Yeah, Joker had 35. Gordon had 27. Missed one shot. And then Gobert had 11 and Cat had 13. You can't have that from your 2 all-star big. You can't have it. Cannot have that.
No, and I digress. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Good stuff, bro. You had a lot of good points. I think when I know when they came into the series, I said that this was going to be a mental check for Ant-Man, and Ant-Man is literally showing up and doing what it's supposed to be doing. His teammates not so sure. Savage, you asked, is the series over? I would hope not. I would pray not. But when you got Jokic out here throwing bullet passes and curving passes and doing all kind of Hakeem shimmies, to like it's to me, it's looking like the Nuggets from last year in that confidence, right? Like, I'm not saying that they weren't confident in game 1 and 2, but I think now it's like you can tell, specifically in Jokic, that he's like, all right, I got these niggas. Let's next round. And I think that's scary when you talk about a championship team. Like, we saw them do exactly what they're doing now last season. And like I said, Ant-Man is doing what he can. But he's like you said, he playing with a cat when he needs some more dogs around him. Game 1, game 2, what they call them, non-order. And like for Aaron Gordon to put up 27 on you, yeah, you need to non-order him or something, man. And then Jamal Murray, like I said, what Jamal have? 19, 8 for 17. Like, it ain't too bad. You can tell he's still not him, but like I said, when you got Jokic, who is the MVP for a reason, doing whatever he wants against the defensive player of the year, ain't much you can really say. So that, like I said, to answer your question, I will hope it's not over. I don't want it to be over. I want Ant-Man to excel and continue to succeed. But the Nuggets showing their championship mentality. And like I said, it's gut check time for not only Anthony, but the whole Timberwolves as a whole. Because you got to think, we've seen them, literally us Memphians have seen them winning a series and go right back down to the bottom. And if you're talking about, the Grizzlies to the defending champion Nuggets, it can happen again just like this. So I'm hoping that's not what we're seeing. I'm hoping Ant-Man can get some help because he's going to continue to show up. But again, we'll see, man. Rudy Gobert is playing 35, 36 minutes. So he's on the court, but he's just not being effective at what he's supposed to be doing. So that's where we at.
We joke about like Ant-Man being Jordan's son. This is kind of like the equivalent of like Jordan's first series versus the Boston Celtics, where he literally had to score 60 points for them to even just be competitive. And I'm looking at like the Timberwolves bench last game. Nas Reed, the only dude that's showing up, man. That's provides some type of help. Granted, the stars all had double figures, but it's like 11, 13, 15, 44 from Ant-Man. Like, yeah, you're not going to win those games against the Nuggets, who they recycle role players every year. I mean, he talked about Justin Holiday, Sheedy. He is 10 for 19 this series from 3. 10 for 19. He making it. Damn. he making that shit. He making that shit at least once every 2 shots, man. So they got to get a hand up on it.
Yeah. He calls out on the shooter.
I think 52.9% is what it was. Like, he making it. Basically, get a hand up. You got to get a hand up. On top of that, though, the problem is that the Nuggets had 30 assists last game. The Rockets moving. You getting Aaron Gordon, your dunker cutting back door. You got Holiday making threes. KCP, Jamal Murray, of course. Like, this is the Spurs remix, literally. And so it's hard to put that team away. And for the Timberwolves to not even get one of these games at home, that's problematic. And that's why I said it's over. Because like now there's blood in the water. It's blood in the water with a young team. You got Ant-Man saying, man, it's on me, it's my fault. Fuck that. Nah,
it ain't your fault.
Nah, fuck that. That sound nice. That shit sound nice. That shit sound nice, but hell nah, dude. You put up 44 points, man.
No, it's your fault for passing it to Cap for him to miss out on shots. You should have had 50.
Should have had 50, yeah. Should have had 50, bro. Like, man, forget that mess. Cat shooting 30-foot threes. He's 7 feet tall. Man, you don't get your ass in that damn block and score a bucket, man. Come on, man. So yeah, I'm hoping for a longer series, but I've seen this movie before. I just kind of know how it ends. But Ant-Man, hey, keep at it, man. You doing your thing. I definitely respect that, man. I want to get to
Hold on, before you go, just 2 things about this series as well. First, Chris Finch, again, I hope you're listening, or anyone from the Minnesota Timberwolves organization is listening. I don't give a fuck how much foul trouble players get in. Don't you ever again put in Rudy Gobert, Karl-Anthony Towns, and Nas Reed at the same fucking time. What type of bullshit is that?
That's crazy.
I don't give a fuck. Put in slow-mo, put in anybody else, sub anybody else in. Do that. My last thing I want to say. It's always critical, and Kenny Smith talked about this, and I've talked about this before, how you close out quarters.
Yep.
They could have went into halftime only by down 10, 8, 9 points. But then when you are mentally tapped out like that, and now you down 15 instead, it's harder to come back over that hump. So that was my last 2 bits about this series as well. I'm sorry.
And then you lost by 8. That's crazy. It had an 8-point run at the end of the second quarter, and you lost by 8. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. All right, Knicks and Pacers, man. So I haven't watched much of this series because it's always an early game, and I'm getting Xena ready for bed. But I see the Pacers have turned that motherfucker around. The Halliburton slander had kind of died down a little bit these past 2 games, so I'm cool with that personally. But what do y'all think about this series? Had the Pacers like figured out how to do it, or is it a matter of we seeing Thibodeau be Thibodeau and running them dudes into the ground this late into the season? What do y'all think?
I think it's both. Honestly, I think one, Tyrese Halliburton is finally being aggressive. Like you can see in game 1, he was 2 for 6 period, like in field goals. And second game shot 19, 26, 15. So it's like, in order for the Pacers to be successful, you can't just be passive. Like we get it, you love assist, you love to get everybody involved, but dog, you gotta go. You know what I'm saying? You're an all-star, you about to be on the Olympic team. Like this team gonna ride it out with you. And the point number 2 is like with Thibodeau, you focus on defense, when in reality, your starters are playing 37, 38 minutes against a team that at one point was putting up historic offensive numbers. So when you got both of them going at it and both of them combining, it's only looking like the Pacers can win because the Pacers, literally, no pun intended, are playing at their own pace. You know what I'm saying? And then you go down with Mitchell Robinson going down. That don't help. You know what I'm saying? Jalen Brunson, he doing as much as he can, but there's only so much that he can do. So I don't want to say the Pacers got this. I mean, it's a series tied to 2. He can literally go either way, but Tibbs gonna have to change something because what he's doing now, it ain't working at all. It ain't working.
They need to answer for TJ McConnell because that dude is, I don't know what's going on with him. He got what? Let me see. He got 18 last game, 10, 6, 15. He averaging about 10 per game off the bench. And then not only that, getting assists too. Where is that? He had 10 assists last game. I'm like, TJ McConnell. This is a random ass player.
I doubled up off the bench.
Off the bench, man. Like, what we doing?
It's that, and it's looking like Obi Toppin revenge series.
Toppin shooting, bro.
Like, how the hell is Obi Toppin going crazy right now?
Toppin shooting that bitch. Doing what? Between the legs, dunk? Like, what? It's the playoffs, man.
That's his specialty, man. That man had 20 points in game. What was it? Game 3? I'm like, bro, what is going on? Oh, game 2. I'm sorry. What is you doing?
I guess to piggyback and to answer the question, since we're talking about NFL today, right? The Detroit Lions got to where they were at because they but they were going for it on 4th down and stuff like that and going for 2, stuff like that, right? They didn't change who they were, right? And I think the Pacers kind of forgot who they were starting in the playoffs. They're getting back to that, yes. And one player that we didn't mention on the injury report, to me, OG. OG is done. And with OG being done, primarily probably your best defender, rebounder, he's going to do a lot of intangibles that Mitchell Robinson could have done for you as well, but can do more on the perimeter. To your point, too, I agree. The Pacers are running their own pace. And what helped them during the regular season, what helped them get to this 6th seed was run. That's all they do. They might not play no D, but they're going to run. And guess what? You playing against your point that's been made already. Guys have been playing, I'm not even going to say 36, 40-plus minutes a night. And you're only getting a day off in between. Your legs is tired. I don't care, Josh Hart. I don't care who you are, what you're made of, because Thibodeau ain't playing players like that. So at this point right now, it is, to me, is a Pacers series to lose. I still have the Knicks winning the series. Hear me out. But it's a Pacers series to lose. Because if you lose your identity again in this series, you're giving Jalen Brunson and the Knicks a chance to win. Remember what got you here. So if they can continue with that with Rick Carlisle, you'll be okay. Tom Thibodeau, other side, how many more players you got left, bro? And I mean, I know, players have said, hey, they don't want to play for Tibbs because he runs them to the ground, blah, blah, blah. I hear that too, whatever. But Tom Thibodeau knows how to coach his players and what he has, his talent available. Injuries are a part of the game. They just happen. It's just unfortunate that you're now missing Mitchell Robinson. You're missing, who was there for?
Randall.
You know what I'm saying? OG. Like you're missing. And Bogdan, they missing.
Yeah, he have a season.
Yeah. You missing like essentially a lot of key players that you were put into your rotation. And so now these other players are getting minutes in the playoffs. They're not really used to that, but he's not really playing those players anyway. He's playing like 7 players. But shout out to Precious Achua, by the way, though, for really helping them win game 2. And it goes kind of unsaid. But again, to me right now, I still have the Knicks winning because I think the aura of playing at Madison Square Garden will help them and carry them in game 5, I hope. Because if not, if they lose game 5, the Knicks are done. But again, like I will say this again, this is the Pacers series to lose. This might be the luckiest. This is why you need to make the playoffs. And you and I talked about this before about the Panthers, and I think they're having again back to football. Panthers and Steelers conversation. Oh well, we just make the playoffs every year, but we don't do much. Okay, but what if injuries happen? Once injuries happen, it's wide open. It's wide open.
That's literally what happened with the Hawks when Trae Young made it. Like literally, it was a lot of injuries, and they just kind of eased their way to the conference finals. They lost, but it was like you never know what that's good experience for your team that you can take with you, going forth.
Exactly. So that I mean, injuries are a part of the game. You never know. To miss their best 2 players, the Bucks, Jesus. I mean, come on. But again, a Pacers series to lose.
Darren says, how much can the Knicks crowd fuel them? I know crowds don't win games, but guys think that's a big factor in a game like this. I think with the Knicks role players, they know to play well regardless. Like you get Josh Hart, DiVincenzo's been playing amazing in the postseason. They'll be okay. But I think they got to figure out a way to take the load off of Brunson, man. Brunson's not the biggest guy in terms of like height. No shade to.
Hey, dog. Hey, dog. What's up, dog? What's up, man?
No shade to two. But yeah, like shout out to Becky Hammond. She mentioned that Brunson, like the fact that he is not the biggest player on the court, that takes a lot out of him to have to be the primary person that's doing all the scoring. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so there are occasions where you do get DiVincenzo, you do get Josh Hart, but there is no other like pure bucket getter that the Knicks have with Randall being out, with OG being out. And so now it's just all on Brunson. And Brunson has not played well in the past couple of games. He ain't scored 35, 38, 40 points since game 2, if I'm not mistaken. And so like they got to figure out where are they going to get some more contributions from scoring, because they only scored 80-something points. They only scored 80-something points last game. And meanwhile, the Pacers are the highest scoring team in the NBA. They scored 120 last game, and they're going to keep scoring. If they play any ounce of defense, it's a wrap. It's a wrap for most teams, man. Like that team can put up buckets. And so if they playing like this, I'm with you, Sheedy. It's their series to lose, because right now the pieces are falling apart for New York. They really are. Who was it, to your mama?
Yeah, man, that was mama, man. Just all in the business, man. But real talk, yeah, everything you said about Brunson, I just wanted to bring in just game 1, 43, 29, 26, and 18 with over 5 from 3. Like his numbers just dropping. So it's like literally so much he can do at this point.
Like D Rose, man. It's kind of run out of fuel.
Yeah, and being to the point that we're making, being that short, you have to rely on your lower body strength for your jump shots.
Legs.
And if you're not getting that rest in between games, first of all, NBA, I think y'all got this wrong. I really think y'all got this second round completely wrong. There's no reason that we should be going every other game or every other night for a game. I'm sorry. No. Yeah. Give me a little bit more. If you can do it for round 1, do it for round 2. Because round 1, we might have saw game 1 on Saturday and not game 2 till like Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yep.
Come on, man. Give me a better basketball.
Yeah. I'll take one game a night if y'all space them out. I'm cool with this.
Exactly.
So one game at like 7 o'clock, and we all can watch that instead of having to stay up like 9:30 to watch the Lakers or whoever else play. I'm like, come on.
Or having a 3 o'clock game, and that's the only one you got to watch on Cinco de Mayo. Like, that was some bullshit. Like, come on, dog.
Random.
Just random ass time.
Matinee ass game. Like, what the hell is this?
Come on, bro. That's it. Like, we ain't got nothing else to drink, so we might as well go out.
Right.
Conspiracy.
All right. Next series. Boston and Cavaliers. Right now, Boston's up 85-78. If I had to guess, they're probably going to win this game. Of course, it might change by the end of the podcast. I don't really have too many comments about this series because it's playing out how I expected it to, as far as like Boston showing they can win a game and then lose at some point just because they play down to the competition. Like I said, Spider Mitchell is. Why are you flicking up?
Fuck the Celtics, but keep going. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's Celtics. But yeah, Spider Mitchell's out. He has a calf injury. That to me doesn't bode well for them. LeBron's in the house. I'm intrigued by it. LeBron and Savannah are there in Cleveland. I feel like that's a conspiracy, but we ain't gonna get into LeBron right now. Tim ain't in the playoffs. I have no comments about this series, y'all. I don't have nothing to say. I really don't.
The only thing I was. Go ahead, oh yeah, we won't discuss Garland. Only thing I will say is this is going to be the easiest and most disgusting winner of the East Conference that I've seen in a long time. No matter who wins. Disgusting because at the end, first of all, again, injuries are part of the game. Heat were injured. Mitchell is now out. Jared Allen is gone. So you got the number 1 seed. You'll get all the way through. You should get all the way through.
Yep.
But we'll see what happens when you get to the West.
Yeah, the East was messed up this year because Philly was kind of hurt. Y'all were hurt. Milwaukee was hurt. It's like, damn, man. All the top seeds. New York is now hurt. So like, aside from Boston, Boston's hurt, but like it's KP. So it ain't a huge blow to them. So yeah, it's
well, you got to go against that Jokic in the finals.
Well, finals, yeah, but like
finals, yes, exactly.
Eastern playoffs
right now,
playoffs,
yeah, right now.
Rest his ass.
Like Boston should beat the Cavaliers. They should beat the Pacers because they're better than the Pacers. The Knicks are not healthy, so you should beat the Knicks. So in my opinion, just finish your breakfast, man. Not these dudes out and chill.
It's just good to see Jason Tatum woke up. Finally. Finally.
What do you got today? What do you got right now?
He doing pretty good.
25, see, he got it.
Yeah.
For a while, he was scoring like 21, 22, 23. And normally he'd get like 30 in the playoffs. He's been chilling.
Because Derek White was balling for him.
Derek White.
Drew Holiday got more than 10 points.
Finally.
There you
Come
go.
on now.
All right, last series, Thunder and Mavericks. So this one is interesting. I want to hear your thoughts, Sheedy. You were at the game the other day. What was the vibes like?
Yo, the way that Dallas is rallying right now for y'all lucky I didn't say game 4 because I'd have been at game 4 today. I'll be all the way honest with you. I ain't gonna get into all the everything, but the way that Dallas is rallying around, the fans of Dallas are rallying around the Mavericks right now, it's crazy to see it. Being downtown, seeing everybody in their Luka jerseys. I mean, Luka everywhere, Kyrie everywhere, Nowitzki everywhere type jerseys. Man, and to watch that game live and to just feel how much MVP chance for Luka, suggesting like, when there's a good defense of play, like they're behind the defense. Like they're not behind the offense. They're saying, yes, good defense. And that is what has been missing from the Mavericks for really years. Forever. Again, this is a team, to me, that I saw as more like 2011 Mavericks that went all the way and won the finals against us, the Heat. Is you got that prolific scorer and Luka, and you have everyone else that knows their role. Nothing against Kyrie, but right now his role right now isn't to go out there and score 20, 30 points. It's really realistically play good defense that he's been playing and help out Luka when he needs to. But ladies and gentlemen, again, one more time, going back to that trade. Hornets, y'all didn't know what y'all was doing with PJ Washington? I mean, Lord have mercy. That man scored over 20 points, 2 or 3 times already in this playoff series? The Thunder are in trouble. And the Thunder are in trouble to the point where after this season, I believe, because I called the Mavs in 6. Once the Mavs get them out in 6, they need to rethink who else do I need with SGA? This team can't grow and get over the hump. They're going to need some significant piece back with SGA to get them over there. And I hope they don't have to trade anyone for that. I hope they don't. I hope it's the picks or whatever. Maybe somebody else off the bench. Gordon Hayward is doing nothing, absolutely nothing.
He got in the game. I was like, what? Why is he in the game?
Well, I had to turn the channel. And I'm at the game, turn the channel. But legitimately speaking, man, I said it a couple weeks ago before this playoff started. I saw Jason Kidd lock in defensively with his team. And from that point on, I have seen a different Mavericks team. This is a team that you do not want to play at all. Because as much as you think you up or you good, Luka gonna come down and splash it. Kyrie gonna come down and splash it. And they're gonna play great defense on the back end as well. Because PJ Washington can hold his own. Daniel Gafford holding his own. Where's Chet Holmgren? Where are you at? Ain't seen you all series. But like I said, SJ gonna get his 30. It's who else is going to show up every game. Not one game. Jalen, shout out to you. Not one game. But you need it for 4 games. And again, nothing against SGA, but he needs help now. I'm going to leave it alone. Again, Mavs in 6.
Another trivia for you guys. In the 8 games that Gordon Hayward is played, in the 7 games, that Gordon Hayward has played in the playoffs, how many points has he scored?
Total. 7.
Okay, Sheedy, what you got? 7.
So you said the 8 games?
In the 7 games that the Thunder have played in the playoffs, how many points total has Gordon Hayward scored? Sheedy at 7.
I don't even remember him scoring. I'm
right, that's the point.
3.
You could have went with that answer, honestly, Savage, because it's 0. Nada.
That's what I don't remember.
Nada. Absolutely nothing, man. But and one thing I hate, bro, is like the Mavericks are good, and they're looking like they're becoming great. Like they're correcting things that, especially over the last few years, defensively, getting defensive players that know their role, players that know what they're doing. Especially with the leadership of Kyrie Irving as well. Like I'm pretty sure, even though Luka's the best player in the league, not in the league, on their team, second best player in the league, it's still Kyrie Irving that's been there. It's still Kyrie Irving that I'm pretty sure Mark Cuban got there and said, hey, this is a team that can really use you on and off the court. And you're pretty much seeing that. As far as the Thunder, I hate that people gonna just throw SGA up under the bus because that's how the Twitter heathens do. When the Thunder lose, SGA, you weren't good enough. In reality, him and Anthony Edwards are going through the same thing. They're here, they're showing up, they're doing what they're supposed to do. Whereas everybody else, but of course, when you're the best player and you're the quote unquote captain of the team, people gonna live and die with you. So it is what it is. But yeah, SGA and the Thunder, they got a interesting offseason coming up, to say the least, if they lose to the Mavericks.
Yeah, it's still a long series. You got some time to figure it out. But to Sheedy's point about like Chet, like this is what I talked about earlier in the season about Chet. Chet's a rookie technically. I mean, he's been here for 2 years. This is his first playoff go around, and it's a more physical game. He's an elite shot blocker. He had 4 blocks last game. But it's also like, how do you block shots and stay out of foul trouble? You know what I'm saying? They don't have much behind you off the bench. I mean, they have Isaiah Joe come off the bench with 13 points. But as far as like a big man with size, the other Jalen Williams, the bad one, I mean, he ain't doing it. He ain't doing it for you, And even J Dubs, who I call Jalen Williams, the real Jalen Williams, he's still young. This is his first go around in the playoffs, so he's figuring things out. Whereas Shay's been here. He's done it in the bubble. He's done it with the Clippers. He's been in the playoffs for a little bit, so he knows what to expect out of it. But the other guys, they don't, And Luka Doncic, he lives for this. He is James Harden remix with being in the playoffs, half-court offense, manipulate the game, score. He does it better than SGA, if we're being honest, as far as getting to the free throw line and getting those angles to get those buckets. That's what Luka is. And Kyrie, we talked about Kyrie as far as like, the scoring, the, playmaking, whatever. Defense, man. That dude is locked in on defense, blocking shots, getting steals, doing what he needs to do to help his team win. And for some reason, the world's falling in love with Kyrie Irving all over again. I find it kind of funny.
Fake ass.
I find it kind of funny. But yeah, Kyrie, I'm happy for Kyrie ultimately, man, like I'm glad that he's getting his flowers as a player because he never was a bad guy or a bad person. We know that. We know what he does behind the scenes that doesn't get as amplified as the other stuff that he did. But I'm glad it's about basketball right now, and right now it's beautiful. So tonight is Game 4, and I think if Dallas wins this, I can't see OKC coming back to win this, this series, man. I just can't see it. Primarily because Luka has been there. He's made a West Conference Finals before, and I think he smells blood in the water for OKC. So not just the Minnesota Timberwolves, who are a young team and struggling. OKC, I think, is going to face the same fate with running into a team that just been there and they've done that. Darren says winning the playoffs is tough. Usually vets dominate playoffs for a reason. Yeah. And the Thunder, man, if they lose, they'll be back. They're not a bad team. But I do find it interesting because, like, you can't have 15 first-round draft picks over the next 5 to 7 years and continue to build a winning roster. At some point, you got to win. You can't just keep bringing in young guys because you'll run into the issue of, like, when your vets are off the court and you're putting in these young guys, what are they going to do in place of that, as far as how they're going to compete against, like, these older players that have been there and done that on these veteran-laden teams, So they play tonight. We'll see how it goes and come back later to discuss it next week. But I do want to end the episode here with the NBA versus NFL players discussion. So for the past, I feel like 2 weeks, man, you had Austin Rivers coming out saying that NBA players could thrive in the NFL. You've had NFL players saying, hell no, y'all couldn't last in the training camp, which, I mean, I agree with that because I ain't hot as hell. I say I'm good. I'm good on that. Y'all got that hot as hell, heavy ass pads hitting each other. Like, nah, man, I'm a basketball player. I ain't doing that. Before we get into what we're gonna do for today's exercise, what do y'all think? Whose side you on with this debate?
I don't know who I side with, but I will say this. You see, and me being like someone that like kind of play basketball, like kind of like a little bit in college, like you see football players coming to play basketball. You don't see basketball players going to go play football. And so I don't know what side that means I'm on. But I think there's a lot more there's more than whatever he said amount of NFL players that can come and play NBA. Y'all, I mean, did you not see Myles Garrett? When he that man is, solid, whatever he is, 6'3", 6'4", it doesn't even matter. But that man was dominating. And CJ Stroud, like there's a lot of players, a lot of NFL players that have done well in the high school basketball, whatever it may be, that can come and play NBA. I don't believe there's a lot of players, that many, and go from NBA and go into the NFL. That's personally. So I guess I side with Rivers to that extent because let the rain start coming, let the snow start coming. Ain't no, you know what I mean? Like that's one thing nobody's really talked about. Like, not every stadium is an arena, right? So like, it's some openings, and it ain't always gonna be cold, right? It ain't always gonna be hot. It might be some wind. Like, what you gonna do then? Whereas when you in the arena,
you know what? See, that's crazy. You mentioned that because, like, when I was growing up, I was used to playing in hot ass gyms. Like, that's just how it was. Like, we didn't have much AC or fans blowing, and then we played a game in like MUS. Gym was an ice box. I couldn't hit a shot. I literally could not, and I'm a shooter. Could not hit a shot. Could not hit a shot. I was like, bro, my nipples are hard, bro. I can't hit a damn shot. What the hell's going on?
Yeah, that's nasty. We didn't need to know that. That's yeah.
Anyway, I guess I'll answer. I've seen now. I'll say this: there have been a lot of NFL players who have showcased their highlights of them playing in high school. I know as an Eagles fan, I know we drafted Cooper DeJean. He's very athletic. He had a great highlight reel. I know that Devontae Smith,
another white Cooper, by the way, ladies and
right? Another white Cooper. Devontae Smith was a great hooper in high school. He probably could have played both ways, I think. Who else played basketball? McNabb actually played at Syracuse basketball and was a quarterback as well too. Charlie Ward. Here's Darren talking about who's the best football player ever. I'm gonna have to say Charlie Ward because the man won the Heisman and then went to go play for the Knicks for like 10 years. So I can't really dispute anything against that. We haven't seen any. Well, I guess the flip side of that is like basketball players don't play football. Like if you are good at basketball, there's no way for the most part you're gonna play football because you're not gonna risk an injury. At least not like in college or anything, not like extensively. So players like McNabb or was Antonio Gates, Jimmy Graham, who were okay in basketball, but if you were like an elite basketball player, you're not gonna be playing football full time. So that's the hard part of the debate. What I would say, because once you get to the point, especially like in AAU, if you are good at basketball, you playing basketball. It's like or basketball and like baseball, basketball and like soccer, not basketball and football. You know, it's two different sports, two different dances. I would say.
I agree with everything y'all said, man. And it's like the talks is getting too serious at this point. Like, ain't no way in hell that we should be seeing people yell at each other about whether basketball and football. Like it's all subjective. It's all for fun. Like in reality, like I went to, of course, East. And most of the basketball team did play football or another sport. And I think the question or the statement was you can't pick 30 football players or basketball players to go into the NBA or vice versa. And I'm thinking like, me doing my research, I'm like, well, if you were to stick to that question, I'm pretty sure we actually could name 30 NBA players that can go in the NFL. Just for an example, believe it or not, Luke Kennard, one of the better shooters, I guess, on the Grizz. He got scholarship offers to play football in Michigan. Who would have known? So I'm saying you got research, bro. I thought we were drafting, so I came to kill y'all today. But I was saying if you just got like players like Luke Kennard, like role players that, like I said, could have had full scholarships to play football, we can name 30. I can go and research and have 30 by next Friday if I want to.
Yeah.
So
I forgot. Speaking of Duke play, I forgot about Greg Paulus. He played at Duke for 4 years and then played at Syracuse for that 1 year. He wasn't great at Syracuse, but he went to go start for a D1 program after playing 4 years of college basketball, bro. Like he skipped everybody.
And Jalen Suggs, like literally has scholarship offers to Ohio State, Michigan, all your favorite schools. Like he could have been a D1 for sure. So let's stop, y'all. Let's chill.
Here's my solution.
Let's unserious this out. Let's have some fun with it.
Come on, bring it home. Go ahead.
My solution for this: we need replace the celebrity game with a full 12-on-12 basketball. Like it can be former NBA players who like are not super old versus former NFL players who are not super old, or like players in the NFL that just want to play. Like I'm fine with that. Just give me 12 in shape dudes on both sides for the celebrity game, and then for the Pro Bowl, 7-on-7, give me 7 in shape NBA players or like veterans or retired people, 7 in shape NFL current, old, or retired people, and we can just do it like that. I wouldn't care because I don't care who wins, but for like the trash talking, I'm with that. Like let's run that up. And we can do it every year, damn near. Just see, like, all right, this year we win or we tied up. We're going to do a softball game to break the tie. I don't know. Whatever y'all going to do. But they need to figure it out, man, because at this point, this debate is not an old debate, but it's gotten intense to the point where it's like people like ready to fight over that. I'm like, bro, like
people need to be right about something.
Right. So without further ado, I did ask the gentleman today, going into the episode, to construct a 7-on-7 roster with current NBA players. And I want you guys to slot where you would put each player as far as their position on a flag football team. So which one of y'all wants to go first? Or do y'all want me to go first?
Go ahead, Master Chef.
All right, I'll cook it up then. All right, so 7-on-7. Of course, the 7-on-7 football, you got your quarterback, you got your receivers or your skill position players, and then you got your center or your old lineman. Flip side, you got your cornerbacks, you got your rusher, and you got like your safety or whatever. So at quarterback, I got the Joker. I know he ain't fast. I know he ain't mobile, but damn it, neither was Big Ben. Big Ben, you cannot tackle that man. And Nikola Jokic is arguably the best passer we've ever seen play in the NBA. We saw him curve the bullet the other day. So I want Jokic to be my quarterback. That's one. For my skill positions, I got De'Aaron Fox as my X receiver. I need somebody that's fast that can run downfield, get the ball in his hands real quick, and go make a play. At my Z receiver, give me Ant-Man, because I can switch him out and let him be quarterback occasionally. But he's also tall, athletic, strong, a good solid receiver, kind of like Anquan Bolden. I need a strong physical receiver. In my slot, I'm giving the quarterback his best friend, Aaron Gordon. Another big receiver for the Jokic. He has a good relationship with him in the slot. So we're going to do that. And my running back, give me Jalen Brunson. I need a short guy that's shifty, can get into small spaces, and then get out and run once he breaks free. And then for my tight end / safety, I'm putting Victor all the way back there. I'm putting Victor Wembanyama deep safety on defense. And then on offense, he's my tight end in the red zone. Throw the ball up. He going to snatch it from on top of everybody. We're going to score a touchdown. And my center / runner is going to be that big boy from New Orleans, Zion Williamson, who I can also put at running back. And I dare y'all to stand in his way when he's running downfield. So that's my 7-on-7 roster of NBA players.
And this is crazy because I kind of have similar. So I'll just go through mine and get mine out the way. And then too, you can go with yours. Yes, I agree with Joker. You might have a different quarterback too, and that's fine. But I
do.
Yeah, and I'll keep Joker where I'm at with that one. I also had Zion as a center. It's kind of weird because I coached flag football last season. I'm like, damn, if I had like a Zion type of player for center, Jesus Christ, we probably could win more games. But anyways, Zion there. I also agree with Wemby as well. How great Wemby can be on offense, but also defensively, putting him up and maybe possibly being the rusher to affect the passing is critical because I don't even know what his wingspan is. It's got to be at least 8 to 9 feet. I don't even know what that is. I agree with De'Aaron Fox as well because he's one of the fastest players that we have. I got Ja at another receiver as well. And also, man, let us not sleep. LeBron James could have been All-State, I believe, in football. At receiver tight end, I think at that time. But anyways, I got him as the other receiver, even at this time right now. And my running back, because no one ever is going to choose him anyway. Give me Scoot. Bye, baby. I gotta record though. You know, you loud. But I got Scoot.
I like Scoot.
His speed. We're not talking about basketball. His speed is there. So that's my 7 to play with.
Yeah, I got some good picks, man. Real good picks. Mine's are different though. So at center, I got Steven Adams because ain't nobody getting past him. Quarterback, I went and found the player with the most half-court shots made in NBA history. Because in order for you to be a good quarterback, you need to know how to dot. You need to have a strong arm. You need to have precision. And who hit the most half-court shots in the NBA history? They got Steph Curry. So I got Steph Curry at quarterback. I do 6'3". In this soft football era, ain't nobody gonna touch him anyway. Give me Curry. I did have Jalen Suggs at first, but I found this out. I was like, give me Curry. Running back, I got Russell Westbrook. Like, who's gonna stop Russell? Power, speed, they're just all of the above, especially in this prime. Tight end, I actually got Giannis.
You got Giannis?
I do.
Okay.
I imagine a Grunk 2.0. What up, Aiden? I imagine like a Grunk 2.0, just big for no reason to go get the ball. Kind of shaped like a football player, strong as hell, play safety as well. I told you I put some thought into us, man. So this is the only time I actually would pick Giannis.
I was gonna say, now we all on here want to say it's the first time that we've ever heard Giannis in a positive light come from you.
I mean, you know, dead clock right twice a day. So anyway, so for wide receiver, I did want to pick Kawhi Leonard because of like his clawing big ass hands. But you got to deal with that defense, great defense. Mm-hmm. But you got to deal with the fact that he only gonna play half the games. So I didn't want to play it that I can only have half of the games. So for receiver, I got Anthony Edwards. Of course, he's gonna go get that jump. I got Josh Hart. Defensively, he'll be good. He can jump, like he getting 10, 15 rebounds. He gonna outwork you. And then I got Spidey Mitchell, fast, short, jump, height, like all that. And I think that's it. Yeah. So I got Steven Adams, Curry, quarterback, running back, Russ, tight end, Giannis, and receiver. I got Ant-Man, Spidey, and Josh Hart.
Hey, I'm sleeping on Josh Hart, man. I feel about that because he's the epitome of like not a Pro Bowl receiver, but like just a guy that's consistent. Like you're gonna get 3 catches. You throw the ball his way 3 times, he gonna catch it every time. Every time. That's
put him on defense. I think he'll lock down somebody.
Yeah, lock you down, stay with you. I'm with that. I like that. So, but yeah, don't take it too seriously. This is a fun exercise. This is fun, man. Y'all gotta like Shannon Sharp was ready to fight Kendrick Perkins today on First Take.
Shannon Sharp ready to fight Shaq.
What's up with that?
Wow.
Because I heard about it, but I don't know. I don't watch First Take anymore. I don't know what's going on.
I honestly done forgot. But apparently Shaq made a diss track about Shannon because Shannon
diss track. Oh my god, hold on.
Yeah, the beat fire though.
Yeah, Shannon said something about like if Shaq was to work harder, he would be in the top, but because he didn't work hard enough and things of that nature, like we don't consider Shaq a GOAT. And then Shannon was like, of course, like I wasn't, as famous as you are in basketball, as talented you were in basketball, but nobody outworked me. And of course, yeah, that's true. Shannon Sharp is that guy, but of course Shaq caught wind and made a diss track, and here we are now. Just be.
Yeah, and it legitimately started because Shaq said that SGA deserves MVP over Joker, and Shaq told Joker to his face, over inside the NBA, right? And like, yes, like whatever you feel, Shaq, right? That's fine, but like in that moment, I don't think that was the right call for Shaq to do. Like, no one said anything to you when you won your MVP. Said, "Hey, someone else deserved MVP." No, like, let Joker got it. He deserved it. It is what it is in that moment. And you could have reserved what you had to say about SJ afterwards. But the thing is, Shaq and Joker are really cool. So it didn't look like it was that much. However, what I will say to what Tuku just said, it's like Shannon just elaborated on a little bit too far about it and did question his work ethic. And let's be honest, Shaq did have a terrible work ethic as well. And so Shannon was really saying like, man, if you had my work ethic, you could have had, 4 or 5 MVPs. You could have been doing X, Y, and Z. And to what Shannon's credit is, I do believe that because Shaq was really lazy. Like he really didn't care. He told you, he'll tell you that.
Yeah, that's my thing. If you tell me, like, why are you so mad? If you said it.
Yeah. Like what
you say what I said, nigga. Like
what we're talking about here. And so I really think it's really fun, to be honest. I think it's like a harmless fun because Shannon has yet to say anything back realistically since that time. Okay. I mean, it's not he got to go to the studio and record a track with anybody or anything like that. But like,
if Shannon Sharp get on the diss track, I'm done with 2024. I'm done with
got
this
to
track.
be.
I'm done with this tracks.
Got to be because we got to make one, I guess, after that.
Man, look, I was like, who and LBR gonna beef so we can have a social media beef.
We can make one. I saw some shit.
Look, I started to hit you up about Metro with the BBL Drizzy.
Man, that man going stupid. You told me make some beats and make some drums. I bet we're gonna have everybody in the world clown you.
Numbers going like this up.
That man real deal went to go make some drums for real.
They got everybody and their cousin on it.
BBL Drizzy.
Man, did y'all see the post? I retweeted again, but what was it? Dave Kleiman, and this actually goes perfectly with this episode. They made NFL, MLB, and NBA team equivalents from the last 10 years.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
It's complete. It's actually just bullshit. But pretty much they got, and I ain't gonna go through all of them, but they got the Warriors and the Chiefs together. They got the Spurs and the Eagles. No.
In what way? I don't like that.
And they said it's based on winning percentage in the last 10 years, which Spurs.
I would say we're kind of like
y'all better than the Spurs in the last 10 years.
Yeah,
I get that.
I would say we're kind of like Milwaukee or like Denver. Probably Milwaukee.
I say Milwaukee. Yeah, I say Milwaukee.
I like Milwaukee. Yeah, I like Milwaukee better.
Sheeta, they got your Cowboys equivalent of the Jazz.
We shouldn't even been mentioned, to be honest. Shouldn't even been mentioned.
The Cowboys like the Lakers, I think. Yeah.
Let me see. And then I got my Panthers. The Kings.
Yeah. I'm gonna say Charlotte Hornets.
Which is confusing for me because in the last 10 years, I think, hey, screw you. The last 10 years, the Kings have won more than the Spurs and the Jazz. So I'm like,
yeah,
this is dumb.
Did y'all go to Super Bowl in 10 years? Was that 10 years ago?
Yes, 2015.
Oh, it just made it.
On the money.
CD, hold on. Do you really want to do this right now, CD? Do you really want to
We can. Right, it don't matter. Y'all didn't win the Super Bowl. So what does it matter? Nobody remembers second place.
Nobody remember the last time y'all went to one.
I know, but no one remembers y'all being in the playoffs in the Super Bowl.
Yes, they do. That's asinine. Cam Newton. Everybody love Cam Newton.
They do.
What up, Glock Duke? Whoever you are.
Hi, Glock Duke. Tell me, Glock Duke. Tell me the last time the Panthers won a Super Bowl. Go.
What was it, man? I'm telling you. What was that? What was?
Go ahead. You about to say when's the last time the Cowboys won a Super Bowl? Because that's actually numerical stat.
Numerical stat. Oh, little 5. That niggas was Macarena in the last time y'all went to the Super Bowl. Get that on my. Come on,
but
dog.
Again, that's a stat though. Then there's the last time
some stats ain't good. Some stats ain't good.
Meanwhile, my team won in 2017. So you know. We should have won 2 years ago, but it is what it is. Pat Mahomes.
Yeah, you can't bet against him, man.
Yeah, can't bet against him. I might still bet against him, but you can't bet against him. Can't do that. Anyway, all right, gentlemen. And before we get up out of here, before we talk about a football podcast,
Cowboys suck, and I can't wait for them to get the first round pick next season.
I
say that out loud.
I mean, they'll get Shedeur Sanders, so
Yeah, we'll get rid of that. I'm fine with that.
Amen. All right, gentlemen. Next week, we'll know who's in the Western and Eastern Conference finals. So we're gonna get Denver. It's gonna be Denver and who else? Denver and Dallas at this rate right now.
At this rate.
and
Boston, number 1 and 2.
Whoever. And Boston and whoever.
Boston, just go ahead and buy y'all's tickets. I mean, actually, don't even buy y'all tickets because y'all got the number 1 seed regardless. So they come to y'all.
They come to them. Yeah.
For y'all to lose.
So with that being said, we will be back next week. Stay safe. Be blessed. Peace.